Hello, hello. Hey, Rosemary. Welcome. Hi to everybody who's here. It's Tuesday, August 4th. And I'm going to start off with some happy mail I got the other day. So make sure you guys are hitting that like button, sharing the stream. That's much appreciated. Do all that before you get going, and say hi in the chat. Hey, Becky. So I got this really nice piece of happy mail from Susan Steffens. She is a part of Makers. Some of you know her. And she sent me some really, really beautiful papers. And I'm glad you're here, Becky. Hey, Adrian, because this says here, made at Becky Bo Kearns Mixed Media Retreat 2025. Hi, Miriam. Isn't that cool, Becky? So she sent me that and some really cool papers to play with. And maybe we'll use some of these today. Hi, Anne. Hi, Darlene. Hi, Ava. Welcome. Hey, Aubrey. So she sent me these really cute papers. Hello, Ava. And like I said, I might use some of them today because later on I want to do some hidden paper clips. I finally got my paper clips in. We'll do some of those. Hey, Meg, welcome. And then this really cool journal card that she made. I think it was for Carrie's, one of Carrie's events. Let's see what she says here. Yeah, from Carrie's challenge from back in, wow, this was long ago. I didn't realize how long ago that was. It was Carrie's event in July 2024. Hi, Christina. Hi, Ann. Hey, Zal. Welcome, welcome. Don't forget to hit that like button, guys. Let folks know we're hanging out. Um, so yeah, and if you've been in Makers past 24 hours, you may have seen I posted some a couple of photos of prints I made with pan pastels that I just got from the really lovely Sue, who you guys will know from Makers and from the PM Artist Studio Live. Oh, you're not late. Hi, Sil. You're right on time. It's only 101. We haven't even gotten started. I'm just showing this really cool um, postcard I got from Susan Steffens. So I have to post this in Makers as well. Hi, Sherry. Yeah, so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to do some pen pastels on the gel plate. So these are prints that I made when I first got the gel prints or the pan pastel. And I used one of my stencils and I forget the name of this one, medieval floral, something like that. If you do hashtag Eddie, it'll take you to all my designs at PM Artist Studio. Hi, Debbie. Welcome. So that's this one here. It's just, there was already the twisted flower on the plate. You can see that there, the little outline. So I just went over it with this. I put the stencil down and then did the pan pastels and then pulled it with gold. I did sort of a, this sort of sunshine coming out like a sunrise sort of thing. Hello, Miss Karen. How are you? Medieval floor tiles. Yes. Yeah, Becky. I can't keep up with all the names. It's that one. And then this one I did with Whirly Birds, which is one of my new ones. And I think I have that here somewhere. Oops. That is this one here. This is the new one. It comes in 8 by 10 and 9 by 12. And it's a fun one because when you flip it and reverse it, it creates really cool design pattern on the plate. Um, yeah, we're gonna do some pan pastels. Hello, E. Miller from Michigan. Welcome. I hope you voted today. If not, you're gonna vote. Michigan's really important right now. Okay, that's enough of that. Anyway, hi, Mo, you wonderful lady. Hey, Dee. Hi, Bruja. Welcome. Yeah, so this one I did with the what do you call those? The pen pastels with that other stencil. I pulled this one with oh, awesome. So E. Miller, you can complain all you want because you voted. You did your thing. All right. I pulled this with Prussian blue, but I like it because it's nice and moody, right? So what there was leftovers on the plate, so I pulled that, the leftovers with gold, and I got a pretty good print from the leftovers. Um, and they clean off lovely off the plate. So it was on this plate here. And you notice I cleaned it off this morning with some baby oil. It came right off. So it's not, they're not going to damage your plate. So I love those. You guys, don't forget to hit the like button. Hey, Barb's. Okay. You are awesome. She voted too. You're so fabulous. All right. So this was the plate that had the leftovers from this print. And the thing is there was a lot left. And I'm like, let me try and pull it and see what I get. But I didn't pull it with a paint. I just pulled it with a gel gloss medium. So that's what it looks like. So let's see how much we actually get off the plate. And then I'll show you how I clean it with the baby oil. We'll do a quick clean here. Ah, we're going to get a good print. Look at this. And I'm glad I used the gloss medium because it's not, now it's got a nice shiny look to it. Fabulous is that. It's a great summer print, isn't it? I'd want a room decorated like that. How cool is that? Right. And I'll just flatten it out a little bit. I love it. All right, so don't think you can only get one pull. Now this, I might could get another pull. Wow. Okay, so Karen, I don't know if y'all in Alabama say that, but say this, but I what I just said, and I caught that's why I caught myself. Something I learned when I lived in Memphis is saying I might could. That's another one that goes with orange. I might could orange. So I might could pull this with something else, but I doubt I would get anything as intense as that. So I'm not even gonna worry about it. Might could, right? It's a good one. Oh man, those things that stick. Yeah, finna. Those things really stick with you. Finna go to the Piggly Wiggly, but I might could go to the Kroger. All right, so just put a little baby oil, or if you want to be more professional, you can use um, food grade mineral oil on your plate. And this goes, this will condition your plate, this will clean your plate. Just got to use your phalanges, get in there. You see how easily that comes up? Yeah, another good reason to condition your plate with the oil is um, if your prints aren't pulling well, if it's you're having issues with paint not sticking right or whatever, paper sticking too much. I know, well, I got two prints out of this. So, you like that, Bruja? Phalanges. That's a good word. Told y'all, I like my SAT words. I scurry funge with my phalanges. How about that? Yeah. So, well, the thing is, too, is that a little bit of that pan pastel goes a long way. And disclaimer, I'm not knocking Sue or anything. Um, but one of the pans wasn't fully closed when it was put in the box, or it unscrewed in shipping. I don't know, but one of them, it was like the darker brownish red, opened all over inside the box. And so I had a big mess, and that stuff gets everywhere. So I laid down some of this packing paper and just put it all out there, and grabbed a bunch of paper towels and some cleaner and just wiped everything down as best I could. But what's really cool is she sent me this too. So when you get your pan pastels, it might be a good idea to invest in one of these. So this is I don't know the official word, but I call it a tamper, because you tamp down with it, right? So it's a very heavy metal base here, and you use it to tamp down the powder in the little disc so that it stays in place. So if it starts breaking up, you can use that to press it back into place. And when you're doing this, it's a good idea to get your edges too, because you don't want your plate to dry out. So it's a good place to condition. All right, let me see if I can move a little faster here. But I wanted to show you that this it's easy to clean up, and it's fun. Get the kids involved here. Yes, there you go. Yeah, you get these oftentimes when you have an espresso machine, you tamp down the espresso into that little cup that goes into the machine. My God, it's been a long time since I worked in a cafe making espressos and lattes. Anyone ever get a steam burn off an espresso machine when you're trying to foam the milk? Not here, especially in the middle of a lunch rush. All right, for most, pretty much all that has come up. There might be a little bit left, but that's really not going to affect the performance of your plate. But look, oh no, I mean, I don't think having an espresso machine means you're fancy, because these days there's all kinds of coffee machines you can get for all kinds of prices. But that's a good deal. Free's good. See, pretty easy to clean up. You can't see the residue. I can see a little bit, but like I said, that's not going to affect the performance of your plate. Another good tip for when you want to condition your plates is um, put down a layer of, after you get your initial cleaning done, put a thin layer down of your oil and just let it dry onto the plate. That's a great way to keep your plates nicely conditioned and always ready to go. Hello, Pinka. Welcome. It's good to see you. All right. So what's this? What's this? I need my trash bag. All right. Got it there. All right. Oh, but it's good for your hands. Hi, Graham. Okay. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate that. Not as often as you'd think, Karen. I usually do it if I use something that stains, or if I notice the plate has a lot of like gunk built up on the edges. I do that. Or let's say I use like gel medium. Sometimes the gel medium will leave like weird spots on the plate. But once you use the oil, it'll get it up and it'll be a okay. All right. So what do I got here? If you see water dripping onto the table, that's just sweat because it's flipping hot already here. It's already 83. Just exciting. Although the past 2 days has been pouring rain. All right, so I'm going to use Miss Mayhem here. A lot of y'all know Mayhem here. She loves to hang out with Karen. You know, Mayhem gets around. She's a troublemaker. All right. So besides my pan pastels, because I have a limited number of those, I also have these. These were sent to me by Sandy, who sometimes comes to the lives. She's awesome. Her name on the lives is Painting Again. So if you see her, that's Sandy. She's another one of our Sandys. We also have Sandy Franklin, who's kind of a neighbor of mine. She lives in a couple towns over. So whenever Darcy comes to town, we all get together and hang out. She's really cool. So this is just eyeshadow, but it's got metallics in here and then some other colors that I don't have in the actual pan pastel. So I'll use some of those too. And then I've got my paddle brushes. These are paddle brushes. These are great for applying your pan pastels. And when you get a variety pack, you get the super fat one, you get the tiny one. I'm gonna put the white paper under here so you can see it better. Eric, you get that one. And if you're watching and you're new or you have questions, please feel free to ask questions. Um, as long as I can answer it, I will answer it. And don't be shy. Say hi. Okay, so here's the thing. I ordered these a couple years ago from the A store, and they were kind enough to mistakenly send me 2 boxes of them. So what did I do is I kept them. All right, I got those. It's this size. There's more. I don't know what the rest of them are, but there's those. You get 2 of these. There's the big one, and then you get this one. You see how it looks like that? It's like very narrow, and you get 2 sizes. You get the short one, and you get a longer one. Oh yeah, Karen, get your eyeshadows out. Yes, Ava, exactly. And then these are some other brushes that Sandy sent me with the eyeshadows. So there we go. Oh, so there is I don't know if she is still, a lady who ran the makeup, the cosmetics department at Macy's in Boca Raton, Florida. And she always wanted me to come work for her doing makeup. And I'm like, I don't do makeup, mainly because I don't like touching other people. And getting that up close with someone was not my cup of tea. So I never did that. She's like, well, how about fragrances? I'm like, oh no, that's even worse. I couldn't do that. No, no, no. Right. Okay. So that's that. So I've got a white piece of paper here that I'm going to use to clean my little brushes off as I move along. There's some other thing here that came with these. You see, this is the color that went everywhere, but we're not going to worry about it. Yeah, see, it's coming. Something on there. So here, these go to like a stick thing that come with the pan pastels. I don't have that, but I can probably devise something to use them with, There we go. Can use that. Fake it till you make it. So, makeup sponges. When you see them on sale, get them. Because the makeup sponges are also good for doing using your sprays. Like if you ever watch Mariah use her sprays to do spray papers or tissue, she likes to use a sponge. a makeup sponge. Those work really well for that. And you can rinse them off and reuse them. I have a whole thing that I use. I got a whole little thing over here and I keep them. I rinse them off after I'm done and let them dry, let them air dry, and they're good to go again. Leave that out, might need that. All right, so I have a few colors here. I've got, let me see, this is bright yellow green. Gotta put my glasses on for this. I have old eyes. This one, I believe. This one is magenta. And oops. I can't tip them over because I don't have lids for these. Let me see how I can do this. Here's what I'm going to do. Put this like this really quick. This is turquoise tint. So it's a very pale turquoise. And I believe this is ultramarine. I spilled that everywhere. Ultramarine blue tint. Well, we know the ultramarine's going to go there. And I have diarylide yellow. This is a permanent red. This is the one that's spilled, but there's still plenty left. And that one is, I cleaned it so hard I rubbed the label off. Hi, Reba. How are ya? This is the white, titanium white. This one I think is a mixing color. I have to look really quick here to see. That's ultramarine blue, the regular kind. Let's see. So this one is, it's a colorless blender. So we'll have to try that out. So it's colorless blender, titanium white, ultramarine blue. I believe the last one is, oh no, I have two more. I have this blue here, which is phthalo, and this is Payne's gray. So I've got a nice selection. So Sue, thank you much. Oh, and the tamper, this thing here. And you see how this is kind of crumbly? So you can come in with that and then push on it. I shouldn't be doing it on the plate, but it's all good. Oh, well, I'm glad you can come here and hang out for a little while and forget about that stuff for a little bit, Reba. You kind of push it, tamp it down, and it helps to compact it back into your little thing there. I need a paper towel. Hi, Alicia. How are you? Tamp, 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 tamp. All right, so I'm just going to get going here. Green there. So since we got blues going, why don't I just continue with the blues? So this was that ultramarine light stuff. And Becky had asked how these will compare to these eyeshadows. Oh, that's not a something. Okay, we're gonna change that. Okay, that looks better. That other image was not looking cute. These are nice and creamy. And then I'll use my extra paper over here just to brush it off. Now, once you put it on the plate, it's pretty much set. Hi, Nancy. It's pretty much set. So you don't have to set it with anything. It's already set. You just when you put your paint over it, you're good to go. Um, Now, if you were using these pastels on a different substrate, I would recommend a spray fixative because the spray fixative, you won't disturb necessarily the what you did. But there are other ways out there. That's my recommendation. If I had it in front of me, I'd show you. Um, the spray fixative I use. It's the Krylon, I think. It's the one that you definitely have to. I mean, with any of them, you got to use in a well ventilated area, but with the Krylon, I would use it outside. All right, I already kind of made a mess of this already. I'm not happy with that, but we're gonna keep going. I'm gonna take some of that phthalo. And go as intense or as light as you want. You can build that up. You know, put some over here. And while I'm over here, I'm going to grab some of this metallic blue from the eyeshadow. It's pretty intense. I like it. We'll get some of that over here as well. Tambien. And since it's got a big blob of this over here, maybe I'll do a little hint of it over here to kind of balance it out. That's cool. See, add some of this here, kind of blend that in. I don't know how much that's going to affect the other side. Let's see. It will. So you can lay a darker color over it, and you see there. All right. So let's get more of that metallic blue. Do some of that here. And then we'll do about the lime or what's this called? Bright yellow green. It's lime. It's lime. Now, if I wanted to darken that up, I could put this darker green behind it. Hello, is this Luann? Swift? I've been trying to get messages to you. To see how that darkened the lime up a little bit, so you can create cool things like that. Still, probably you would have to. What I would do is you probably take a craft knife and kind of scrape off. Oh, awesome! It's Luann. Good to see you. Yeah, she kept asking me when do you do your lives? And unfortunately, I don't schedule my lives because it's hard to do that. But whenever I do have lives, I always post them in Makers. So you can always find out the info there. Or if you go to my channel page, you want to click all notifications, and it'll tell you 30 minutes in advance of the live that I'm going live. So you get a 30-minute warning. So there you go. Let's put some more of this lime green over yonder. I hope so, Alicia. I think it will. Maybe do a little bit in this corner here so it doesn't feel left out. And these are great because they blend the powders really nicely. That's cool. Let's get some more. Let's get some of this lighter. Actually, no, I don't want that. Get that out of there. Maybe here, let's use some of this stuff here. This looks like a teal. Get some of that in there. Maybe some metallic teal. Mm. I only have double egg. That's what happens. I ordered triple from Amazon and they sent me the doubles. Sorry, my brother was asking me for some batteries for my nephew's game. But yeah, okay, so there we go. Yes, happy to have you here, Luann. All right, what else? Get another color to get in here. Do some of this here, darker teal in the metallic. And then a little more green. Little green. Maybe I can darken some of this up to break it out. I'm gonna come in with the regular ultramarine. Hello, Ivy. Yeah. All right, let's see here. I like it. I do want to darken up that center part a little bit, though. Maybe just around the edges a little bit. Okay, okay. Ooh. Sorry, guys, it's warm. That's what I'm like. Ooh. But the AC is too loud to have on, and I didn't have a chance to turn it on this morning because I was like running around doing other stuff. But at least there's a breeze. All right, so I'm gonna lift the stencil up. Beautiful. Oh, that's going to be nice. Right. So we just got to think of a pull color. That's on the plexi. Okay. So we need a pull color for that. I'm going to get some paper and y'all can discuss that. That's too small. Big enough? Oh yeah, that'll be big enough. Debbie, did I say hi to you, Debbie? If not, hello, Debbie. Yeah, it's 84 here and rising, but I don't think it's gonna get much warmer than this. It only gets warmer, a little bit warmer when the sun starts to set, and so this side of my apartment here gets a lot hotter. It's where the sun is setting, but other than that, I think that's the hottest it's gonna get. Nothing like summer in New York City. Are you in New York City, Debbie, or you were in another part of the state? If you don't mind me asking. You don't have to say. Just so you can create something cool just from cleaning up your brushes. Hot in Ontario, yeah. It's hot everywhere. In the Catskills? Okay, so if it's hot there, you know it's hot in the city. Let me see what my weather thing here says. So it's only 82 in New York in the city. But Florida's hot today. Southern Florida. I still have those places I used to live on my map of my thing of weather. All right, so I'm gonna pick a color here. You stuff. I got stuff everywhere. I was hello Alyssa. How are you? I am cutting up papers to send to PM Artist because I finally got my new what do you call this thing? The guillotine. It's so cool. Okay. But the only thing I noticed is that I used it for maybe a half an hour and it's already getting tight. Like see how tight it is? So I think I gotta go in there with some tools or something and maybe loosen it up. I don't know if I can, but it got really tight. So hopefully that's not a bad sign of, its performance. Maybe it just needs to be broken. But yeah, it actually cuts a lot better than my other one because the other one I have is the We Are Memory Keepers, like all in one, like scoreboard and paper cutter. But the particular blade that it takes is so hard to find, and the ones I found are like $15 for one. I'm like, yeah, I can probably get a cutter for that price. And I got that cutter for like $18, 18, 19 US dollars. So definitely worth the investment in that. Yeah, maybe it might need that. If not, I'm gonna check the tightness, but it doesn't look like it allows you to kind of loosen it. It doesn't give much space to get a tool in there. So I might have to get those get some lubricant in there to loosen it up. All right. So if anybody have any color ideas, because if not, I'm just gonna pick one. I'm gonna pull this on some carnival tissue. Some carnival tissue, as we say here in Boston. All right. Go for a cad yellow, light tan, gold. All right, I see light tan, gold, cream. Let's see, what if I do here? I'm going to do this metallic yellow gold. That'll fulfill a couple of the criteria. I'm going to do another one. Don't worry. We'll do another one here. Okay. Oh, brayer. Get another paper. All right. So Yeah, this should be interesting. Deli paper. Should not take too long to dry because it's so hot. We'll definitely be pulling this today because ain't nobody got time for that. Karen, what colors did you get? Or did you get like a set? So let's see what that's gonna look like. You got a set, nice. Ooh, that's gonna be spectacular. And like where the very pale color is, it looks like it's almost like see-through. So it looks like a metal grating, kind of, right? In my old house, we had metal grates in the floor for the heat to come up, right? For the heat to circulate through the house. And they had these really fancy inserts made of metal that you could, open and close the vents of. Um, that's what this reminds me of. If you know, you know. If you grew up in an old house, you know. You go there. Now this one is leftovers from me playing around with my other new stencil called Retro Blocks. So I figured I can use another design on here. So this is Retro Blocks. This is a new one. So I have two new ones this month. Is this one and Avalanche and this one here. Okay, Sil, take care. Oh, awesome. Yeah, definitely, Ava. Use what you got. So those are the two new ones. But I think for this one, uh, get out of here. I think for this one, I'm going to use my. Oh, awesome, Becky. Very cool. Very cool. Can use this one. This is one of my floor tile ones. And Mo, thank you. I appreciate you putting the links in. If you're looking for links for specific things, Cookie Wookie is in the chat dropping links for you. If you need a link to something, please don't hesitate to ask. Just be nice about it. Be nice. All right. So we've got a lot of little open spots, but maybe we do I don't know, how should we do this? Maybe we'll start with some yellow here. Start with some yellow. I'm going to use one of these little itty bitty brushes. Someone's hammering something. I don't know what that is. Hello, Paula. How are ya? So maybe, yeah, you know what? I'm going to do some flowers in the yellow. This is Diary Ride Yellow. Sounds like I had a stroke when I say that. Diary Ride. Diary Lied. Why y'all got to make up some crazy names I can't say? It's so annoying. Maybe we'll do like stripes of colors. So this is a repetitive. This is a repetitive pattern. And like I said, just layer on more if you want a more of an intense version of the color. And if you have a darker yellow, whatever, you could go in behind it and add some more. Add some in there to darken it up. Hello, Mariah. So you see, it's hard to see because of the other stuff put on there, but you can see it's pretty intense, and I didn't put that much on there. So I'm just gonna keep going. We'll do another. We'll do 2 and 2. How about that? This is very relaxing, by the way. So if I fall asleep, just tap me on the head, wake me up. And you see, I'm not really rubbing on this. I'm just tapping, and the color comes up great on here. So that's the thing, is you don't have to be rough with it. Yes, exactly. Like the Zen gardens. That's yellow. To magenta. Mariah, you got to get P one of these to tamp down her powders. Keep those powders in place. All right. I'm just going to go as quickly as I can. Don't want to bore you too much. But this is fun. And the pan pastel it does not affect the performance of your stencil, so don't worry about that. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier because Becky said, "Oh, that's like the one that you get when with the espresso machine," and that's exactly what it is, or what it's like. I don't know if that one's for an espresso machine, but I would think that was smaller. But I haven't made an espresso machine. I haven't used an espresso machine in forever. Hello, Bobby. How are you? So I think after I do some of these, I'm gonna do some hidden paper clips. So I finally got around to ordering some paper clips here. I got the big ones. Oh, I hope you're feeling better, Bobby. Sorry to hear you weren't feeling good. Who is drilling? That's what I want to know. I don't know if y'all can hear that. It's so annoying. I'm just gonna go in here with some red. This red's intense. I like it though. This is vintage floor style number one, Alyssa. Yeah. Red, red, red. Red rum, red rum. So I watched a horror movie. I thought it was supposed to be a horror movie. Watched some of it yesterday. I got halfway through and I was so bored. Like it was like, okay, get to the scary, get to the scary. There's a lot of build up, but there was no like they didn't get to that point, you know what I'm saying. And that was very disappointing. I don't even know I can even remember the name if to tell you, but wasn't good. A lot of movies I've noticed recently, not a lot of dialogue in some movies lately. And they rely heavily on just assuming that you know what's going on just because of the face an actor makes it's like are y'all that cheap you can't find a good writer for your movie or just that lame? It's not easy writing a movie. Yeah. There you go, Aubrey. Aubrey says kind of like my ex, I'll build up and no happy or sad end. Just neutral. He's just neutral about the whole thing. Like, yeah, whatever. Y'all are bad. You make me say bad things. All right. Maybe with this blue, why don't we come in and we go at the angle? Do you see what I mean? So we got the smaller ones go in the stripes, and then we'll do the larger ones in an angle. Hi, Shauna. Did I say hi to you already? I don't know if I did. Hello, Sandy. We talked about you earlier. Oh, I went the wrong way, just like in Connect Four. Too busy talking. Oh boy. No, well, I can fix that. No worries. All right. No, Sandy, I was telling them about the eyeshadow you sent me that I used on some prints, a print earlier, and then a print that I've got that I made here. These. So this was a second pull off of this original one. This pull I did with the gloss medium, and then this was the first pull with gold paint. But it's got some really cool stuff going on. It works fabulous. Yep, the pearls work too. Yep. That's right. All right, now for this, let me see if I can use the Payne's gray and just go for that. Maybe that'll help distinguish it from the other one. Yeah. Got that. Do some. Oh my God, enough with the hammering. We get it. You have a penis. That's something my dad used to do, was like he over hammered. Like, dude, we get it. You can use a hammer. Relax. He was the type of father that would wake up the household at 6 in the mornings, at 6 in the morning on the weekends, just because he could. And if he was up, we all had to be up doing something. No wonder I moved out when I was 17. I'm tired of y'all. Passive aggressive nonsense. There we go. Let's do this. This is a light. It's ultramarine, like a light, or no, it's a teal or turquoise, but a tint. So it's on the lighter side. We like that. It's a lot there. We spread some of this out. Oh, and then my mom was with the music. So I would wake up with my mom mopping the floor around my bed and blaring her music throughout the house. Oh my God. And I'm very sensitive to noise. So like if I'm not into it, there are certain noises that like really like trigger me. Well, these are pan pastels, and this particular one here, my fingers at that I'm putting down on the plate, it's called turquoise tint. Let's see if I can flip it without making a mess. Let me do this here. Turquoise tint. That's what they call it. All right. Go ahead and put that cover on that. Do the ultramarine next. These are powders. These are pan pastels, and they are powdered. So you see here, you can tell they're powdery, and then you can. I use this thing here to tamp it down. But yeah, it's like an eyeshadow, Shauna. It's a good way to describe it, like an eyeshadow. So like here, these are eyeshadows I have, which I should have been using, but that's okay. I have these here. And this one is metallic. Let's do some metallic in there. Some shiny business. Top 5 of the worst noises. 5 a.m. Neighbors getting jiggy with it. Yeah, well, I don't think I've ever had that problem. I did have neighbors in Florida in one of my condos who love to fight. Love to fight. I'm like, y'all, and we were friendly with them. Like we, we saw them, and once in a while we had them over for a beer or two. But like, I'm like, y'all need to either break up or move away because you're being really ignorant. Um, about some. Let's do some of this some turquoise here. This one's going to be interesting. I don't know how much I'm going to love it, but what are you going to do? Yeah, they're a little bit richer. They're highly pigmented, but you can do a lot with the eyeshadows if when you're if you want to give the technique a try. Maybe start with those. Mica powders work well too. We'll repeat this on this side here. Oh, I should tell you all the story. I didn't tell you the last live stream. Okay, so during one of Karen's live streams, was it the week? It was last week? It had to be like early last week. If you remember, Mariah, when I sent you that message, remind me. But so I'm watching Karen's live stream. I'm at my desk, and where I live in an old in the first floor of a house, and it used to be the business of the house. It used to be a hair salon. So basically, my front door opens into the street. There's like a little patio space, and then there's the street, right? But I'm in the suburbs, so it's not like there's a ton of foot traffic or anything. It's all car traffic, and you can hear that in my lives and my videos. But we have a couple of houses around here that are, let's say, of ill repute, aka drug houses. So, mind you, in the city, I didn't have that. But anyway, I digress. So we got a couple of shady characters um, in the neighborhood, but I'm not one to like be outside all the time and like mingle with these people. So you know, um, there wouldn't be a reason for them to know me. So I'm sitting there and I'm watching Karen's live. My head is down, so I was writing something, and I heard and my door opened because usually I keep it locked, but it's usually really quiet in the afternoon. It's not a big deal. Leave it open. So like unless I'm going to take a nap or something, then I lock it. Otherwise, it stays unlocked, but nobody really bothers. It was the 27th. Okay, so it was last week. So then, thanks for doing that research, Mariah. So then I hear somebody walk in, and I'm assuming it's my brother because he's the only other person that ever comes in here because he lives here too. So okay, but like I don't hear the usual like foot stomp because he has a very heavy foot. He wears boots, and so I look up, and it's this woman, half out of her mind on I don't know what, with a big glass pipe in her hand, like something you smoke drugs out of, just standing there in the middle of my apartment, like looking like dazed and confused. I got up so fast and like I started ushering her out like I'm a bouncer at a nightclub. And I'm like, I don't know who you are or what you think you're doing, but you need to get the hell out of my house like right now. Oh, well, I thought this was my friend. No, no. Nobody lives here. So you need to go. Got her out of here. I was like, what the F is going on? Mind you, I lived in Boston for many, many years. I grew up there, the city. That never, ever, ever happened. Nothing like that ever happened. Our house never got robbed. Nothing like that. Okay. So Yeah, I was like shocked. All right. But, you have to keep in mind, I'm 6 feet tall and there's heft to my body, let's say. So I definitely, I could have taken care of her if I had to, but she was just so out of it that she had no idea what was going on. So I was just like, no, you need to go, like, get out. Oh, I thought this was my friend's place. My girl, get some help. You need help. So it's like if I do go anywhere, which I don't often, because I don't have a car, but if I do go somewhere, I put the place on lockdown because, you know, it- it's scary. But like I never felt that way in the city. That's why I hate the burbs. Tell ya, the burbs ain't cute. All right, so that's that. Ooh, that's gonna be fun. So now we got to figure out a color to pull with that. Yeah, so that was pretty insane. And I finished watching the live Karen, so there you go. I didn't want to say anything in the chat because like I didn't want to disturb the flow of your stream. That sounded weird. You know what I mean? Oh, this is gonna be fun. All right, so color, color, color. Who's got a color for me? I'm gonna lock up these pan pastels because I think we're done with these. So that's the excitement that's been going on around here. All right, we got to vote for cream, purple. Now, hi, Susan. Is it Susan? S. Lynn? I think it's Susan. I think if I do a purple, it's going to have to be like a lighter one, but that could be interesting for sure. It does. You know those like you see the pictures of the wild flowers growing in California? That is something on my to-do list. I want to go visit California when they have their big wildflower blooms. Hello, Linda. How are you? I'm so happy you guys are here today. Let's put these away. So these are great. They screw right into each other. Um, well, here, let me show you the effect that it'll give. So this was done with pan pastels. You see, you get kind of like a cool, like a blending effect. Do that. So this was all pan pastels except for the smaller print that was already on the plate that was white acrylic, and then I pulled it with a gold paint. So this is kind of the effect. And this is what it looks like without paint. This was just pulled off the plate with the gel medium. Now, here, this one here was done on the plate, and I pulled this with Prussian blue, so it's kind of got that moody kind of vibe. And then I did a second pull from the same print, from the same plate, right? Those leftovers. And this is what I got off the leftovers when I pulled it with the gold. You can get a couple of prints off the plate. But I think once you get two prints, that's probably the most you're going to get out of what's on the plate because usually by the third time, you're not going to get that much. I mean, go for it, try it. I haven't tried it, but I tried it like once or twice a long time ago, but didn't really get much off of there. But I haven't tried that with the pan pastel, so that's something I may have to give a have to try. Okay, so what are we thinking? So I saw cream, I saw purple. Uh let's see here. Maybe. What we got here? Let me think. What if we do? How about this? Let's do the lavender. You can use a baby wipe, but if you watch the stream at the beginning, I actually showed how to clean it. Um, I showed how to clean it with baby oil, and it comes off beautifully. So you can watch that, or if you use mineral oil, a food grade mineral oil, um, the same stuff you would use to condition your plate, and just use your fingers, your fingers. No, a light green might be good. Yeah, you watch me, play around on the plate, but it cleans it up pretty good. Let's see, that should be enough paint. Maybe, yeah, that should be enough. And the other thing is, you notice I didn't do anything to set that pan pastels. Once you get it on the gel plate, that pan pastel is set. Oh, good. Now, once you pull it, it should be wrinkly. That's okay. It really doesn't move. It moves a little bit. You see how that yellow moved a little bit? So what I would recommend is a spray fixative. Um, if someone's going to be touching it all the time, do a spray fixative. Um, but you can probably also do like a layer of gel medium on the plate and then slap down that print on there. But that could disturb the pastels, the pan pastels. But give it a try, do a couple of different little papers. Um, um, cut up some paper and do different tests and see, okay, does this work? Does this work? Does that work? So like how P does, when P demonstrates things for us, and they'll do like, have like little papers to sample the technique on. You do different experiments. That way you're not dedicating a whole piece of paper. It's 212. I don't know if you can hear the screaming outside, but the crackheads are at it again. Good times in the burbs. They're all fighting with each other out there. Hey, Lynn. Let's see. This first one should be good to go. The first one I did. Good, because it's violent out there. We're nuts. Like, it was so bad that my nephew had to put up security cameras around the house to, keep an eye on things. Because he's got two daughters that live here, and my 9-year-old nephew. So he's got kids to worry about. Look at that. Come on, come on. That's beautiful. I love that. That turned out super. So I could probably get another print out of that. Let me do, because I know someone had requested cream on the last one. Let's see if we get anything with this one. Could. I'm just going to pull this one up on regular paper. Hey Mo, I wanted to ask you, were you a fan of Glenn Hansard, or I think it's Hansard, the Irish musician who recently passed away? They had his funeral for him today, and uh they had it on YouTube, but I didn't want to be all breaking down before my live stream, so I didn't watch it. But he was a beautiful person, that's for sure. I meant to ask you that yesterday. Yeah, I know Bono from U2, Eddie Vedder, and a couple of other musicians were there and performed at the memorial. Yeah, I haven't watched it. I'm gonna have to have a lot of tissues at hand. So he performed a song. I think it was "Falling Slowly." Please correct me if I'm wrong, Mo. Oh, such a beautiful song. It's from a movie. And but he was one of those musicians, one of those artists who was all about the craft and the music. And he was very helpful to other up and coming musicians. Like he gave Dermot Kennedy his first chance performing at one of his shows. Dermot Kennedy, he's another amazing Irish musician. He tours the states a lot. When he first was, I think, discovered, he was busking in Boston at the Boston Common, and that's how he was discovered. He's another awesome singer. All right, I missed a couple things because I was talking some nonsense, but let's see here. Oh no, no, yeah, Shauna, no, don't worry. Will not ruin your plate, that's for sure. Yeah, I know, Adrian, my fault. You seal that wipe off paper and use it? Um, Meaning this paper? I don't, can you be more specific, Sil? Yeah, Patty. It's one of those that it's definitely a gift to the world. Paula says, some weirdo is playing the bagpipes behind the bike sheds. That's the best Scottish accent I can do. It's so bad. There's been a murder. There's been a murder. What's this, Eddie? Oh, this was down from yesterday. I was just playing around 'cause I had some stuff left on this plate. I did some stamping to pull get the R's. You know, and I should be better at the R rolling. There's been a murder. I don't know if you can see the stamping in there, but it was my bugs. It's hard to see on this camera. No, that was in the other part. That's in the other part of the UK. All right. That murder. That's Sophie Ellis. Her career got a boost from that movie. Yeah, so this was pulled. First, there was a layer of the black was down and some other black, and then there was the green, yellow, iridescent Pabeo, and then I stamped in it, and then I pulled it with the pale or with the permanent light blue, and that's why it's so shiny, shiny and new, like a gel plate. Ooh, touched for the very first time. Watch, I'll get a cease and desist letter from Madonna. Although I probably sang it better than she did. Whoa, was that shade? Was that shade? That was shade. At least I sing live. No backing track here. All right, guys. So here's the question. I've got about 40 minutes. Do you want to see some bookmarks? Not bookmarks. Do you want me to see me make some hidden paper clips? Or should I save that for a video and we can do some more gel printing? I'm kind of in the mood. What do we think? Do some more gel printing? Hello, Lisa. Let's do some gel printing. Why not? I got enough paint. And what's today? So today is Tuesday. So maybe I could do a live. I can do a live on probably Thursday and would do the hidden paper clips then. And then I could get a couple of samples made. So I didn't make any ahead. So maybe I'll do that. Okay. Let's do that. Yeah, that's right, Bobby. The plates are warmed up. Let's do it. All right. Well, let's look over here. Hi, Darlene. Hey, Rhonda. Miss Rhonda's here. Since Rhonda's here and this is at the top of my pile, let's use one of hers. This is one from her Kraken collection. Crack on! Do some Kraken. Come on. and Paula's here. So we'll pull that one out and we can play with that one. Tumpian. So Mariah's gonna go take care of some things in our studio because don't forget it's Tuesday. It's Twinkie Tuesday, and they go live at 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. 4 p.m. Eastern. So, oh, take care. Are you leaving, Becky? Take care. And yeah, hit me up later, and we'll talk about a time for your retreat. Alyssa asked, "Was Alyssa? Let's use pink." I'll show you what I have for pink. Let me. Yeah, I don't really have pink. Now I do have this lovely magenta. This is what Karen was using yesterday for the color combo. What was that color? This is Chateau Rose. Is that what it was? Okay, he said he's here for the Nert Gay Gordon Festival. He's put his tent up on the lawn and everything. Yeah, as long as he wipes his feet before he comes in the Nert. Because you know some of them tent people saying gnarly. It's gnarly. Oh, that broke. Okay. Those things are useless. Rip that right off. Let's do some pink. This is magenta. Very much so useless, Karen. In the trash. And let's do. Tell you what I want, what I really, really want. Oh, here's what I'm looking for. This is some Arteza. Gosh, eyes are really bad. Rose quartz, pearl rose quartz. He has nice legs. Okay, okay. Does he got them thighs that can crack walnut? All right, sorry, Mo. I was just fulfilling viewer requests here. I'm sure Mo's already hiding in the corner. You want to talk about good legs? Soccer players. I'm saying, just saying. If you can crack a walnut, great. If he can, if he can crack a filbert, even better. Y'all know what a filbert is? All right, so I'm gonna let that dry. So pretty. Oh, that's gonna look cool. All right, so that's gonna dry. What's up here? Okay. Peanut. All right. A little drink here. Put a little bit of the. This is transparent or nickel azo yellow. Nickel azo yellow. I want to try something because I have the pinkish color on there. So let's see how it will look pulling this print from there because it's got the pink and the yellow. Let's see if that looks good. Now, I'm putting that plain paper down on that stencil with wet paint. Normally, I would say be super, super careful. It can stick. The paper can stick to the stencil. Now, that's if it was a brand new stencil. However, this stencil, I don't know if you could see, but it has a few layers of paint on it. So there's less chance of the paper sticking. But you still have to be mindful and just, not push too hard, but it will be all right. And if you watch my video where I did the stained glass prints with my retro block stencil, and I was showing you how to get some really cool, looks by pushing down like this on a stencil. It's got a thick layer of paint. I'll explain it better there. But you see how get that really cool stuff coming off the stencil. And that's cool. Let's build on that. Why not? No, it works best with the more fluid paint, with the more like a stickier paint. Things are falling. Move over there. It's the problem when you got a small space, you got long legs. I knock stuff down everywhere. We got here. Let's do some orange since we got kind of that color vibe going. Orange and yeah, this should be good. That should be enough. I'm trying to be more mindful of how much paint I put on the plate because sometimes you don't need that much and you can still get really, really beautiful prints. But the beginning of my gel printing, I was notorious for putting a lot of paint down. But, how you learn. Yes, Adrian, Team Orange. Good one, Aubrey. Good one. Oh, Fran. Yeah. But you know what? Her stuff looks so good though. It never looks messy when she does it. Fran's got the touch, man. If you don't know who we're talking about Fran Baker. She is one of our designers at PM Artist Studio. She has a YouTube channel and she has a lot of videos on there, a lot of lives. So check those out because she does great stuff. She has some really cool, funky stencils and definitely a unique style. All right, Paula says, not only did he crack my walnut, but he also mixed a cocktail and made the pool umbrella pop with his left. Oh, girl. Okay, Paula. It's all going down in Amsterdam. Now you see, I left it down a little too long. And then, oh, thank you, Mo, for dropping that. I appreciate it. So you see, that's the paper starting to stick. So, got a little bit of a window, but you got to be quick. Now, I love these kind of prints because what I'll do is I'll come back. Let me see if I can find an example. So much stuff over here. Find it later. Anyway, you can come back and put like a glaze of something over it and change it up a little bit, or um, definitely do that. But let's lift that. We got some stuff left over there. I'm gonna let that dry. Let's check out that other plate. Is that this one? Oh, it's this one here. Let's see. Yeah, that's dry enough. All right, what shall we pull this with? Or, yeah, let's do a pull color. I was gonna say we can do something else, but we don't have that time. Spray it with what? Black, black, black. All right. I think I heard black in the chat. Oh, let's do that next then. So Rhonda, this is Rhonda Griffin Shale in the chat. That's who designed this stencil that I'm using right now. She says the stencil is great for slapping around the plate and making texture. Let's do it. Over at PM Artist Studio, they coined that the shadow technique. Might be too much. That's okay. Right. You guys hear that? It's like I live in the hood. Wild. Oh, and I do want to do a live where I go over go through my what do you call those things? Really brayer offs and add layers to those. Oh, this paper's not quite right, but it's already down. There's nothing on that edge anyway. Don't worry about it. Karen says you would have been proud of me last night. I was using black and gold like it was the only colors I owned. Wasn't there a song, Black and Yellow, Black and Yellow? I had one for the kids there. Ooh, ah, ooh, ah. Not too bad. Good call, ladies. Good call. All right, I gotta set that to dry. There's no room at the inn. Get out. This one should be ready. Let's pull this one. This is the one we did, the pan pastels with the flowers. Oh, this is gonna be so pretty. I'm taking my time because this is tissue and I don't want to rip. I know it's wet strength tissue, so it shouldn't rip, but sometimes it can. Look at that. This is fun, right? I think it was Bobby who called out for purple, so shout out to Bobby. Very nice. Look at that. I love that. Okay, let's keep her going. Let me about that. Oh, let's see if we got anything off of this one. The paper you wipe the pastel brushes off with, what can you seal that with? Oh, well, you can do is Sil, is you can spray a workable fixative on it. I think the one I use is by Krylon. And it's one of those like sprays you gotta use outside, but um you can still work over it. I believe it is called a fixable, a workable fixative. Let me see if I have it anywhere near here so I can show it to you. Here it is. Okay. So this is the Krylon workable fixative. It says here protects pencil, pastel, and chalk drawings, prevents smudging and wrinkling, allows easy rework, and it's acid free and archival safe. It's going to cost you a couple more bucks than what you would expect, but it's worth it, and you don't need a lot of it on one piece of paper, so it'll last you a while. But it's definitely one of those you want to spray outside or in a super well ventilated area. And if you have breathing problems, wear a mask. So there you go. Oh, look, we got some stuff left here. So this is the second pull on these pastels here. As you can see, you still get a good pull out of those. And the wrinkling, that was left over from the first print. So it's really cool how that translated onto here. That was the gold or whatever that was. It looks kind of goldish, but it's more subtle than what I usually do, but it's really nice. This way. All right, I'm gonna clean this up real quick, just because I know I'm not gonna get anything else off there, and I want to use my big plate. So that's baby oil. You can use also a food grade mineral oil works well. So I don't know who's asking about this earlier. I think was it Shauna? Anyway, so this is how I get the pan pastels off. Rub a dub dub. It also conditions your plate. Yep, we could do that too, Sherry. Yep. Let's see here. I just like the fixative, the spray fixative, because I know myself and I know I'll overwork it on the plate. So it's ideal for me to have something just to spray and leave it to dry. So there's less possibilities of me handling it before I get the fixative to on there to dry. And then I remove that with the paper towel so you can see it all comes up. Now I could keep jelly printing over that, maybe get a little bit here and there. That's not a problem. So you can certainly do that if you don't want to go through this, but as you can see, it's not difficult to do. It doesn't take a lot of time either. Yeah, Alicia, I love it too. All right. Get that right here. Straighten that up. Come on. There we go. Oh, my glasses for this. Let's do some blocks here. It does. Mine is lavender baby oil. All right, this is retro blocks. Maybe. This one. So let's try and do different colors in here. Some of this red. Just do like a block in within the blocks. The red. Let's see. Is this blue here? Thanks, Alicia. Oops. All right. Bye, Miriam. Take care. Thanks for hanging out. Some yellow ochre. You don't have one of these smaller brayers? It's really, really great to have. Hello, Fatima or Fatima. This looks fun. Kind of like this is gel printing. So I have a stencil that I've designed that's on this gel plate here. I'm adding paint. And then once I'm done with that, you'll see the magic. I guess I didn't need that. Something verde. Something green. We'll use this fern. That's kind of green, kind of yellow. Okay. Let's pick up the stencil. Let's see what we got here. Lovely. All right, so this is what it's going to look like. Now we have to let this dry, and then we can come in and add another color, let that dry and do something else, or we can just come in with a single pull color and pull that, but that has to dry. Oh, we get this here. This was leftovers from Rhonda's. All right, let's do that shadow technique on here. Now, so basically the shadow technique, or what Rhonda was talking about, is get a layer of paint down on the plate. Let's see. I'm gonna use this phthalo green. I haven't used this in a while. Yes, that's that exactly, Susan Mondrian. Yes, ma'am. All right, this was phthalo green, semi-transparent. It's probably best if I used open paint here, but I don't really have many of those, or hardly any, and I didn't want to add any stuff to this, so let's just go with it. All right, so take your stencil, slap it down into place, roll over it. Keep doing that. Keep moving it around, lifting it, pulling paint, going over it, and it'll leave behind a unique design. You just got to be careful not to pull up too much paint, which I did. Hi, Glenda. Welcome back, Shauna. So you kind of see it leaves nice texture behind. So once that dries, we can come in and add a pull color to that. Oh, see. We'll do that again on here about. Let's see here. Let's do it with this blue. I like this. It is fun, right? This is the light blue permanent Liquitex. Now this is an opaque one, so we might get more interesting effects, but roll it out. Roll out. Let me get a brayer that's dry. Don't stick, don't stick. Here we go. And you can pull off as much paint as you want, you know. But this is the shadow technique. You get fun shadowing of the stencil design, but it's more unique because of the flipping and flopping it all around. So you see there, it's cool. Here, format it. Do one. All right, let's do. Yeah, we use this is Paula's stencil. Yes, Rhonda. Yep, we use 2 colors. Can do that. So our friend Keen Design, who's in the chat, is Paula. She designed this one. This one, I believe, is called something pumpkin. What was I going to do? Let's do. You know, why not? Smashing Pumpkins. That's what it is. Thank you, Mo. Mo is Cookie Wookie. She's in the chat dropping links to stencils and stuff. So if you're interested in something, definitely click on those. If you type in the hashtag Eddie, it takes you to the PMR Studio shop with all of my designs. Let's do. Oh, no, I don't. No, I don't. Let's use some of this bronze, iridescent bronze fine. This is the golden fluid. Do a little bit there. I'm going to roll out. Now, give that a second to not set up, but just to chill for a minute. And I'm going to try and get a flop off of this stencil here. And by that, I mean plopping it down on some paper, wet stencil. Cleaning it off. Don't leave it on too long. See, this was a very clean stencil. I don't want to leave it on too long. But look at that. And you see how it's kind of like blue, like greenish in there? That's this paint doing that. So what I'm going to show, because there was no paint on the stencil. This was a freshly cleaned stencil. This particular paint is made up of a couple of different colors. So let me bring that plate back. I'm going to spray some water on here. We're going to do a little aerial spritz. Spritz, 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 spritz. All right, just plain old water. You'll see the paint will start to separate and leave back cool texture. But what's going to happen too is this paint will start to separate and you'll see some like a verdigris is what they call it. So like, you know, when you see a statue, an old bronze statue, that sort of greenish color, that's verdigris. That's what's going to start to happen. You could see that right in here. You see that already? How that's changing? All right. So I got to leave that one to dry. We got another plate here. Yes, these are great. They're not the fanciest, but they do the job. All right, where's that stencil? Let's get that stencil back. We'll do some of this darker blue. This is blue black iridescent. And there, I haven't cleaned off my brayer, so there's some of the bronze left on there. So we'll let that mix in. See what happens. That was a lot of paint. That's okay. Get some of that up. But it blends nicely, those two colors. Hey, Dory. The bronze is the golden fluid acrylic. I'll show you in a second. You can see the bronze mixed in there. Apologize for the lighting, but it's because I have it on the plexiglass, so you get a little reflection, but cool. All right. Well, that's got to dry. Now, I'm going to flop off on the same paper. Let's see what we get. Let's turn it so it's different position. All right. This is it, Bobby. This one here, the golden iridescent bronze fine. That's it, baby. So I'm going to keep going for a little bit. I'm in no rush. I'm not sweating, so, you know, things are good. And, you know, Mariah and Patricia over at PM Artist Studio come on at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 3 p.m. Central. That. Oh, I love that. Love it. Okay. Yeah, so after my stream ends, that's where I'll be heading. Hanging out there because it's Tweak It Tuesday. Want. All right. Let's see what plates are dry. I got a lot of stuff going. This is dry. So we can add another layer of paint here, or I can come in here. I'm going to come in with my Whirly Birds. This is a new one, just came out this month. And we'll do, what if we did magenta with the green? Let's try it. Let's see what happens. This is magenta from Lucas Krill. Let's do this magenta thing. Let's see what we get. Yeah, there's something about the formula that they use to make that iridescent bronze that is just spectacular. Not the best brayering, but it's all good. So that's going to be interesting. Because it's usually the green will turn the magenta, anything red or pink into a brown, but some of it is still pink because of the way we did the technique with the lifting. So there's a lot of, open patches, but let's let this dry and see what it looks like. Because that's going to be the true test of that. See, this is where working in a restaurant came in handy because you got to handle a lot of different things at once. What's dry, what's not, what's cooked, what needs more time. This needs a few more minutes to dry, but that's going to be fun. This one's good to go. We can add stuff to this. Oh, you're welcome, Sel. So let's see here. I think with this one, I'm going to keep it simple. let's do a metallic on here. And yeah. Yeah, exactly, Rhonda. Right. I'm going to pull this one with some copper. Because copper and blue, you cannot go wrong. So Rhonda's saying there in the chat, if you don't see it, is that the bronze metallic. It's here. This is the only one in this that does that when you hit it with the water that I know of. I don't think it does it with the other ones. Oh, got some magenta on there. Oops. Yes, copper. Copper and blue. Oh, awesome, Shauna. Now, the plate is yellowed and you've got the plexi on there, but this is going to be cool. Has the price on the Liquitex gone up? Has this gone up? Because it wasn't that expensive when I bought it before, but it could have changed since. A lot of prices have. But that's why it's always good to see what alternatives there are before ordering something. So that's going to be good. I like that. Some of that magenta was still on the brayer. And that came off. This brayer needs a good cleaning. Oh, well, there you go. Parents are on sale over at the Blick. All right, this is the one. Pull the flat. All right. And this is Carnival Wet Strength Tissue. It's nice and sturdy. It's gonna be so pretty. Dark and lovely. Damn. So beautiful. I think this one I need to come in with some white acrylic pens and make some marks. There's a lot of great spaces here to make marks and stuff. This is a winner chicken dinner. So much fun. Love that. All right. Yeah. Let's do. Grab another pencil. Oh, let's play with Twisted Flower. Twisted Flower was on my last release. So I think for this one though, I'm gonna put the paint down first, and then I'm gonna pull the paint, and I'm gonna pull it with this. So colors, we need a color. No more pink. I've had enough with pink today. That's way more pink than I normally use. And we got to give Cookie a break, okay? Hmm. Got here. That's right, Mo. Yeah, I was looking at my blues. Use this brilliant blue here because I think that'll go so nice with that. So I'm showing you different things you can do with the gel plate with your prints. It doesn't have to be just the standard, one layer print or whatever. Just mix it up, play around, experiment. Hello, Lady Riesling, aka Nancy Lee. Just got home from my last cataract surgery. Oh, I'm glad it went well. Good to see you for sure. So this is Brilliant Blue. Why? Because it's past its SATs, flying colors. So what I'm gonna do is I'm laying the paint down first. And then pulling the paint through the stencil with another print. Or you could just do it with tissue, or you could do it with, whatever. But yeah, so I'm gonna use that. And you gotta kind of be gentle because you don't want it to slide around on you. So at this point, I just like to use my hands instead of the Baron. Yeah, Nancy Lee, we've been having fun this afternoon. We'll play with some pan pastels. And then after this, we're going to go watch Mariah and Patricia over at PM Artist Studio. Any sneak peeks, Mariah, of what P has planned, or is it a surprise? Y'all know we like some sneak peeks. Okay, but surprise, no pressure. I know P likes to surprise her viewers. All right, let's see. I'm gonna gently lift. Oh, there you go. See? So look at that. So from just cleaning up the stencil and then adding that, we get this really cool print. And there's still a lot of white showing. So this is a great piece where I can come back in and from the back is use my spray dyes. Like, where are you? No, not that one. So like, your spray dyes, like dilutions and stuff like that. And then spray from the back and fill in that white, or you just leave it as it is. I don't know. I think it's fun. It's a fun one. These out of the way. Pile of goods and guns. Let's see if I can get any more of this up from the design. Here. All right. Now, what you can do now is you can add another layer of paint at this point. So I am, let's see here. Let's take this sort of turquoisey blue and kind of make it monochromatic, but without it being monochromatic. You'll see in a second what I mean. Hopefully. Yeah, because you kind of look at the background. You're not sure what's going on with the background, but the flowers stand out, but it works together. So now some of that paint, I left the stencil down too long, so some of that paint came up, but it's still a cool effect here. So that'll be fun to pull. Places for all these. That's still wet. All right, this one's good to go. Let me get some. Oops, this is sticky. This is wet on both sides. So I need to clean this up. That darker stuff, that was paint that was already on the stencil. In case you wonder. And like for a lot of you, this is the same. This is, stuff you already know. But I know there's a lot of people that watch who aren't familiar with this. So I like to make sure I give as much info as possible. All right, you got to stay over there. You dry. So this, flip this over so we could see what it's going to look like. Let's see. So you see how darker the pink is now, or magenta? I'm gonna pull it with. I'm gonna. I don't know. I think gold is the way to go with this one. So this one has a lot going on, but I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be cool. And that's why I say experiment, play around. Not every paper you pull is gonna be fantabulous, but it's a great way to get to know what paints work together, as far as your colors. It's a great way to learn, what patterns you like together. And it's just paper. You can always put a layer of white gesso on it and start again. Like I have gel prints that are like thick, thick, thick. I am too, Mariah, but if we don't do it, we don't know what's gonna happen. And at least, even if we don't love it, at least we know, okay, this is that's what when you put an A and B together, this is what you get. When you put A, B, and C together, this is what you get. If that makes sense. I hope it does. I'm just gonna use the 8.5 by 11 paper on this one. And if you don't know, this is 8.5 by 11, 28-pound Hammermill color copy paper. It's a great paper to use on the gel plate. It's thick enough to be substantial to hold your paint and pull some good prints. But it's not so thick that it's bulky, especially if you use it for book pages or other projects and stuff like that. You yelling at me, Mariah? Get that paper down. There you go. Rhonda says some of her bad prints turn awesome with a flop off on top. So that was flop off is when you take your wet stencil and put it on top of that paper and clean it off on there. The Goldilocks of the paper. I don't know. This might be a good one. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. Let's see what do we got. I think we can get some paint down on this one. Yeah. This one is good to go. Let's talk about this one, guys. What should we do with this one? Should we pull it with just white or with black? Or another color, like, let me know. I'm going to wait off on this one for a minute and let you guys think about that. Definitely, I can use black. All right, I do. Mhm. All right. 3 votes for black. Yeah. Let's do black. This is Mars black. Oh, sorry, Mariah. Outvoted. I could always do another one with black or with white. All right. Get my larger brayer here. I need a new brayer off sheet. Too late, Rhonda. Black's already down. Yes. I want to get the whole thing, so I want to get my. I'm going to use my Yasutomo sketch paper. No, actually, I'm going to use my Carnival tissue. It's easier to grab. Sorry about that, guys. I'm going to mute this. It's a lot of bad language. Can I mute you? Oh, jeez. I can't mute it, but hopefully it's just muffled to you. Oh, look at that. This reminds me of the 1970s. Good, because they're saying words that I don't want y'all to hear. Okay, we got here blues. All right, this is good to go. So what should we put? What should we pull this one with? All right, I'm going to say no to gold because we've done some gold already. I'm going to say no to black because I'm not interested in black. I'm going to say no to purple because we've done purple. You think white, Miss Karen? Lime green? What if we did a ombre? Okay, jeez, guys, come on. Oops. Ah. Oh, I don't have one like that. Mo. I always mean to get a sage, and I don't have a sage. All right, so lime green. You want to do lime green, orange, and white? I've got Cad orange or Indian yellow? What do we think? You should invite Pete over. It'll get clean. All right, I'm gonna do the orange.
Hi.
Hi, Joe.
Stop.
How are you?
You?
I'm good. I'm on the live stream. Want to say hi to everybody?
Yeah.
Say hi.
Hi.
This is my nephew Joe. We were just listening. Who's playing that music out there? That offensive music? Who's playing that music out there with all the bad words?
I don't know.
Bad words out there, man.
Hey guys.
What are you doing today, Joe? You have to play baseball practice. All right. Well, I will see you later, buddy. Have fun. I love you. All right. So, okay, here is the question. What should we do with what order should we do them in? Do we like the white in the middle? Yeah, he knew what I was talking about. I think it was his other uncle. He didn't want to get him in trouble. I know who it was. All right. So we'll do white down the center. We'll do green on the end. Yeah, Irish flag, green, white, and orange. That's right. To be sure, to be sure. If you know, you know. Keep it tight. Sometimes the simplest move is right. The color palette you choose can profit you. You see, just take your time, go back and forth the whole length of your plate. All right, let's get some paper down. Our hybrid can withstand these things. My heart can beat with 6-inch strings. All right. If you know that song, we can be best friends. Ooh, look at that. It's so pretty. All right. That is spectacular. Right. I'm gonna start winding things down. I'm gonna check on that one that I sprayed the water on and see where it's at. Where it's at. I got 2 turntables and a microphone. Y'all remember that one? All right. So this has a little bit of look at how teal that turned. And that's still wet, but I'm gonna go ahead. I'll give it a few more minutes. Let that dry. Let's see. Let's pull this one. The sprayer off is awesome. Yeah. This is the permanent blue, permanent light blue that I pulled with the copper. See how cool that looks. Great background. Now, here, what we could do is I could add another layer to that. I'm going to stencil. You know what? Let's do this one. It's handy. This is a basket weave, I think, or this is iCat. That's how I remember this one because it's an AKA iCat. IKAT. This is a PM Artist Studio design that I have cut the edges off of. So it comes with the border, and I've cut the borders off. So I've altered it. All right. All right. Let's add something on here to go over this. So I think a Prussian blue, maybe. Y'all want to do some Prussian blue? I love this Prussian blue. This is one of my favorite paints. This is the Lucas, or not Lucas, Amsterdam Standard Series, and it's a transparent Prussian, which I love. Yes, if you haven't thumbseed upseed, what are you waiting for? Get your thumbs up. That goes a long way to help out my channel, and it's much appreciated. So I'm gonna take a stencil and I'm gonna lay it down on the paper because I don't want to obliterate my print, but I want these lines. So this is a flop off. Take my braid and go over it. This should be interesting. Yes. Yes. I love it when things work out. So see, one more layer. Now I'm like totally thrilled with this. I think that was a good decision. Now, if I didn't like it, I could continue. I could do another layer of something. I could do, like I said earlier, slap some white gesso on it and do something else. But look at that. But you see how quickly I worked. I worked doing that. You got to work fast. Now, if you do have access to open paints, which is the who do you call that place? Golden fluid acrylics or golden acrylics open paint. I have a tube of it somewhere here, so I can show you what it looks like. Okay. So this is where you want to look for. It's the brand Golden, and it's their line of open paint. So it's a slow drying acrylic. So if you don't think you can be fast enough, use a slow drying acrylic like this, or you can add a retarder to your medium, to your paint. It's the retarder or an extender, some brands call it. This one's by Blick. You can add it to your paint, and it extends the the drying time, which gives you more time to work. All right. I'm used to doing this, so I can do it quickly. But if you're not sure, or if for some reason you move a little bit slower, then go the option of the open paint or the or using a paint extender in your already existing paints to allow you to work a little bit longer. But I love how that turned out. Yes, love that. Okay. What else is on our plates here? Let's see if this one's dry yet. This one should be dry. Crack my edges. Yeah, pull it up too early. Okay, well, there you go. But let me show you what you can do. Take your gel medium. So if you pull up your print too fast or too early, like I just did, take a little bit of gloss medium, slap it down on the plate. You don't need that much. Roll it out. Put the paper back down. Let it dry. And then that will pick up whatever was left behind and you should be good to go. I'm not going to pick up the other side. Just let that finish drying. But I think that one turned out good. That one's going to be good. All right, what's this? Oh, nice. This one's dry now. All right, so this is the one that has the blue black iridescent and some of that iridescent bronze mixed in. So I need a color that's going to be fabulous to pull this. What do you guys think? This needs to dry. And we need a. All right, you take care, Mo, and have a nice dinner, and I will see you soon. Thank you for all of your help today. Well, I'm only here probably for another 10, 15 minutes, Karen, until Miss Mariah and Patricia come on. I figure since I have the place to myself, I can just keep going and I'm not tired or anything. So that's good. What about this? This light, this blue. This is ultramarine light. So it's kind of like a white, but it's got a little blue in it. And someone said white. Okay. Red or green, patina color. I don't have patina color in a paint necessarily. So I think it might. I don't know if it'll work with that that blue black. I don't know. Rich reddish brown. I don't think I have anything that's reddish brown. I think what I have transparent red iron oxide, but I think it might be too. Might be too much for this. And I don't want to do another metallic. I don't want to do a straight color because it's already metallic on there. Terracotta, maybe. Let's try. I'm going to do the terracotta. Oh, good night, Luann. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. Let's do the terracotta. This is by Lucas Krill. Get some of these out of my way. Let's see what I'm doing. paper. All right, so that's gonna need time to dry to get all that stuff up. That's gonna be really cool. That's gonna be cool. Nice. All right. To dry. Oh, that has to dry. Okay, let's get some paint on this one here. And then I'll show you the prints we've done today. So I think on this one. I'm gonna go red. Just straight up. Rojo. This one here is Pyrrole Red. I think this print calls for some drama. Now, a couple of those spots were still a little bit wet, but I'm not concerned. Now, if Paul is still watching, this combo is very much a Paula street. If you know any of the work. Go. Okay. Uh-oh, look at that. It's gonna be so good. And the texture the water gives the paint is so yummy. So good. That's gonna be fantabulous. Okay. This one dry yet? No, that needs to dry. So basically, everything left on the plates has to dry. So as usual, I will pull them later and then take some post pictures for you. Post the pictures for you. Oh, on the red print, Alicia? On the red print, it's not gold, it's iridescent bronze fine. It's this paint right here. Good stuff, man. It's the good stuff. Come on. The Lazy Susan is not behaving. Let's see what we've done today. All right. This is the one we did with Rhonda Stencil, the Kraken. Magenta and a metallic pink, and then we pulled it in black. And then this is the one we did with pan pastels. There was already stuff on the plate. And then I added the pan pastels through the stencil. And we pulled it with that light purple. Very much so pretty. There's this one we just saw where we added that last layer there. Thanks, Aubrey. And this was the cleanup sheet that we cleaned up that stencil, Paula stencil, with the iridescent bronze and then the iridescent blue-green. And then I added the twisted flowers on top. Here's some orange. This one, you know what? This one I can add another layer. Do I have a plate that's open? Number 12. Well, I don't have a plate big enough, but here's what I can do. Let's see what sprays I got. This one's coral. Abandoned coral. Let's see how this looks on there. Just spray it out. Fill in all the white areas. You can also come in from the back and do it that way. No, I should put that sponge I had. Come on. So you get the idea. Use your sprays. You can fill that in. Do it from the back. All right, so we got that one. The other ones. This other one here with the pan pastel. There. So yeah, we had fun today. We did all kinds of stuff. This, the other polls. Oh, we did this one too. This was gold on there. Hi, Stamp Girl. Yeah, I'm actually leaving now. But thanks for hanging out and watch the replays. We did some fun stuff today. Yeah. And this is one that I cleaned the plate off with the pan pastels with the gel medium. Another pull. So like I said, those other ones that are on the plate, those need to dry, and I'll post pictures of those over in Makers on Facebook. But thanks again for hanging out with me today, guys. It's been a lot of fun, and I'll see you over in a little bit at PM Artist Studio for their live stream. Bye, everyone. Take care.